So before beginning any backlink campaign, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, do I need backlinks? Now, almost any SEO campaign will benefit from some type of backlink campaign running within that structure, doing on-page content, fresh content, off-page linking, and so on. But the thing you have to consider is that the page and keywords that you're targeting, or depending on your site's current situation, may define whether or not you even want to be running a backlink campaign for this specific circumstance. So the first things we want to look at is indexation. Very simply, if you just do a site search on your website, for this example, we're doing local client takeover. It's one of our keywords. So if we do a site search, we see that we have 88 pages indexed, and there's quite a bit of content on here between the courses, the blog pages, and a lot of different other things. And if we look at one of our target keywords, local SEO training, you'll see the top sites here are bigger sites. They definitely have a lot of content on them, especially if we look at Moz right here. So you see they have 59,000 plus pages indexed in Google. So in some situations, if you have a one-page website, or you have thin content, or don't have a lot of content on your site, and you're competing with high content, heavy content websites, then you're probably going to want to consider more content and on-page and keyword research and things like that before just running with a backlink campaign. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not ready for a backlink campaign. You may choose to run a smaller, lesser links, lower link velocity campaign to start. That could all depend on, again, what is already ranking in the top of Google. But you want to make sure that the site has content indexed. A nice little trick too is that if we type in one of our keywords in quotes and we put local SEO for Moz, you can see we have 3,850 pages indexed. So there is quite a bit of content on their website that references local SEO. And since our keyword is local SEO training, same if we did like SEO or search engine optimization, all relevant terms, we should see that we have quite a bit of content on our site. And you can see we have 61 pages indexed that reference local SEO somewhere on the page. So making sure that your site's indexed and healthy. Of course, if you have some kind of penalty, your URL is not showing up when you do a site search, or it's only showing maybe a few inner pages but not your home page or anything like that, you want to check Google Webmaster or Google Search Console, see if there's any manual penalties, and then look for anything that could signify that maybe your site needs to disavow some links. We'll get into that in a second. Whatever that is before running your link campaign. So with that said, we also want to make sure that everything for our on page is in order. We have our keywords on the page, metadata. We don't want to have any keyword cannibalization, because that can be an issue as well. If you have pages on your website competing with each other, then you're going to want to get that corrected before you just start sending links to a page, because it will be an uphill battle, and it's really hard to make that switch sometimes depending on your current situation. So one way to see if you have keyword cannibalization going on, if you go over to Ahrefs, you can come over here and look at your ranking keywords, not referring domains. You can look at your organic keywords, and Ahrefs is not always accurate with the exact position, but it does give you a good insight as to what is ranking for what keywords. So if I just type in citation, because I know we have some citation keywords that show what this normally would look like. So if you look at the ranking of a keyword, and that one doesn't, let's check out this one here. Okay, so here's a perfect example, this keyword local 3-pack. You see how there's this blue line that drops down and then pops up. If you're seeing a different color line coming down and coming back up, that means it's switching pages. So like here, it actually switched from this 3-pack domination page to the home page of the website. So we're not really targeting local 3-pack. Obviously, if we see this with our other terms, then, or your main target terms more than anything, then that would be a sign of keyword cannibalization across pages. You want to make sure they have different meta titles, make sure they have different target keywords, and more importantly, just search the keywords in Google. If you're seeing the exact same sites, exact same pages show up in Google, then that means that you're trying to target two different terms on, say, two different pages, and Google might mix that up. Make sure you kind of switch the target to a term, so when you target those separate terms, that Google knows that this page, for instance, is about local SEO, and then the other page is about GMB optimization. Okay, and if you Google those two things, you'll see that they bring up different things. Now that we've checked for keyword cannibalization, we know our on pages are in order. We have pages indexed on our site. We have plenty of content. We want to check our anchor text optimization. Now, right in Ahrefs, if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see just a really quick overview of the anchors. So you can see that we've been spammed a little bit with some anchors here, but mostly underneath that we have brand anchors, quite a bit of other brand anchors as well, URL anchors. Now, if you're targeting a keyword and you have a high anchor text velocity of your exact match keyword, or you're hitting your page a lot with an exact keyword and it's not moving, then you're not in a position where you want to run a backlink campaign. The other thing that you need to consider is the backlinks of your competitors that you're ranking against. More importantly, if there's top ranking sites that have absolutely no backlinks at all, and your top competitors in the first 3 to 10 spots don't have any backlinks to the ranking pages, then you need to look more into what pages are ranking and where those links are coming from internally to figure out how to structure your site. Because, not saying that backlinks won't help that page rank, but just hitting a page with backlinks when your competitors don't have any backlinks doesn't necessarily mean that that's the right path, because the only way we know exactly what is going to rank competitively in the current algorithm is by looking at what's already ranking. So here we see Moz has tons of backlinks, which I'm sure you know. So we obviously are in a position to be running a backlink campaign. If we did search for something like Chicago roofing, I just wanted to point this out, and you're looking at the top ranking sites and you see things like Yelp or Angie's List, these are not your competitors. Okay, your competitors are the other roofing companies, not because these probably don't have backlinks. So if you see this, don't look at this and say, well, the top ranking sites don't have backlinks. Now, if you're only seeing listing sites on the first page of Google, then you might have an issue penetrating those first few spots. So you may want to look more into a local campaign, even at that GMB campaign, even at that point, instead of necessarily just hitting your site with backlinks. But if you're doing the analysis and you see you have competitors here in the number 3, number 4 spot, number 5, 6, you want to do the analysis on these guys and see, do they have backlinks? And if they are using backlinks, then you are in a position to be running a backlink campaign.